On the rural roads of Norway, Alexandra joyfully runs with a small horse. Even as she keeps running, she cannot stop missing Mia. They are twin sisters, now separated at opposite ends of the earth. Norwegian skies are pure and azure, sunlight clear and bright, mountain flowers bloom along the way, green trees grow by the hills. Alexandra's greatest wish is for Mia to come here one day, to fall in love with this place. Every night, Alexandra's mind is filled with thoughts of her sister. She eagerly wants to see her, hoping that day will come soon. This pair of twin sisters, born in China, moved the world with their genuine and beautiful sisterly love. The story begins in 2004, with a couple from the United States, Andy and Angela, coming to China. They toured the majestic Great Wall, leaving behind beautiful memories. Angela's biggest dream and wish was to become a mother. Despite their deep love, they couldn't conceive. A major regret in their married life. After much discussion, they decided to adopt a child. When they saw Mia's photo, they instantly fell in love. They named the child Mia and flew to China. On the day before, a couple from Norway, Sigmund and Wenche, adopted a child from a welfare institution in Changsha, China. Official documents revealed that the child was abandoned in a box. They named the child Alexandra. Having seen the baby's photo numerous times, they recognized her at first sight. In that moment, Alexandra finally had her own mom and dad. The next day, Mia also welcomed her own parents. Angela held Mia lovingly in her arms, changing her into new clothes and putting her to sleep. Simultaneously, Alexandra lay in her crib, entering the world of dreams. However, due to the father falling ill from acclimatization issues, they had to postpone returning to the adoption agency the next day. The mother bought a red checkered dress from Norway for Alexandra, and on the day of signing adoption papers, she dressed her in it. Thus, both couples returned to the welfare institution on the same day, to sign the papers. When they saw each other's babies, they were astonished. The two babies looked identical. Even their postures were similar. What's more, the clothes brought by both mothers were almost the same. Both couples found it unbelievable, as if destiny had tied these lovely kids together. After chatting, the two mothers learned that the babies shared the same birthday and other identical details. Although they thought the babies might be twins, officials denied it. Both couples felt a sense of despair, but being in China, they didn't know what to do. Before parting ways, Angela left her contact information, and they agreed to have DNA tests for the babies. Both families returned to their respective countries with their babies. Alexandra was baptized in a church in Norway, while Mia grew up carefree in an American apartment. He was the precious gift from God to Angela. Whenever they talked about these events, Angela would tear up. About a month later, the families reconnected, and the DNA test results confirmed that they were indeed twin sisters. For the children, it was good news. They not only had the love of their parents, but also gained a biological sister. Later, the two children assimilated into their respective families, and parents found it hard to let go of their love for them. Although they had different life circumstances and environments, factors that might make them grow into two different girls, what remained the same was their deep love from their parents. Time flew, and the two girls grew into lovely and obedient young girls. When Mia wore a beautiful princess dress and participated in activities, Alexandra played carefree in the snowy fields. Alexandra lived in a small village called Fresvik, with only 234 residents. People had enough time and space for contemplation. She loved strolling around to discover interesting things. Living in Sacramento, a densely populated city, Alexandra's parents had to be cautious everywhere she went. And no matter where she went, her parents escorted her closely, as they couldn't take any risks. One evening, Alexandra found a nearly frozen field mouse in the grass. She made a warm nest for it in the garage, and named it Moose, preparing oats and water. But Moose seemed ungrateful and left a landmine on her hand. However, the recovered little fellow escaped from its cage. Alexandra searched the entire box but couldn't find it. Whenever they had time, Alexandra's parents took her outdoors. They enjoyed the view of waterfalls in the distance, and Alexandra played with lambs. Meanwhile, Mia was busy learning dance, soccer, and violin. Her mother took her to a photo studio to capture her growing moments. They wanted to provide Mia with better opportunities, and nurture more of her talents. In the restaurant, Mia posed with a mascot for photos, adorable and well-behaved. Both sets of parents informed their children about their twin sister. Alexandra often greeted Mia in front of the camera. When he was 6 years old, his parents took him to the United States to visit. Finally, the two sisters met. They happily took pictures together and were so similar that sometimes even they couldn't tell who was who. When they returned to Norway, Alexandra would sleep and cry every day. He didn't want to be separated from Mia. It took a long time for his emotions to slowly calm down. Both sisters couldn't understand why they had to be so far apart. When Mia missed her, she would send her a card, living on one side of the world while Mia lived on the other. Every time she received a card, Mia would hold it in her hands, looking at it over and over. Christmas came, and Alexandra accompanied her parents to the mountains to see the Christmas tree. Growing up in the countryside, she was a true tomboy. Even though the Christmas tree was heavy, she could easily drag it back home. At the same time, Mia's mother prepared for Christmas. Every Christmas, the sisters exchanged gifts, carefully wrapping them and writing blessings on the boxes. After Mia received the gift, she dashed home eagerly, unable to wait to unwrap it. On the other hand, when Alexandra received a gift, she cheered and leaped like a young deer. From childhood to adolescence, they exchanged gifts and blessings with each other. Alexandra received a toy mouse from Mia, perhaps knowing that her pet mouse had escaped. Mia specially prepared it. Every morning, the parents on both sides would gently wake up their children. Angela helped her daughter braid her hair into twists, while Sigmund combed his daughter's hair. In English class, Alexandra paid special attention because if she learned English well, she could communicate better with her sister. On Mia's birthday, many friends came to her house, and Alexandra also had many buddies at her home. The two sisters celebrated their 8th birthdays on the same day. After dinner, they couldn't wait to call each other and wish each other a happy birthday over the phone.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Alexandra wasn't very good at English, and sometimes her mom had to help translate. In July, Mia was going to visit Alexandra in Norway, and they were both very excited, eagerly anticipating the moment they could finally meet. After saying, "I love you," they reluctantly hung up the phone. Alexandra began counting down the days until Mia's arrival, eagerly looking forward to seeing her sister. Mia's heart had already flown to Norway. She prepared many gifts for her sister, including lipstick, hairpins, lollipops, and an embroidered t-shirt adorned with butterflies. She wanted to put all the gifts in a small pocket and present them to her sister when they finally met. Finally, the day of departure arrived.